Zenless Zone Zero. A lot of controversy about this one. I have opinions. Let's talk about it. Typically, when it comes to Hoyo games, there's a lot of varying opinions. It seems like everyone has an opinion on Genshin Impact, especially the people who have never played it and never will play it. And Honkai Star Rail is no exception. We've had our drama with Honkai Star Rail in the past. Most of it has just been being compared to Genshin as just an objectively better game, as it is, and will continue to be, hopefully, until the end of time. This is Zenless Zone Zero. This is the new Hoyo game, and honestly, I wanted to talk about, first and foremost, the character list. Now, full disclosure, I play this on mobile, so I don't really have gameplay of it, but I have a lot to talk about, and I have different things I want to pull up on Pridwin. So, let's get into it. First off, I want to talk about character design, and in my opinion, Hoyoverse continues to make extremely interesting characters. This one, Ellen, subject of a lot of controversy. Basically, people are mad that she looks like a child, and I don't know why that's a problem. Half of the anime girls in existence look like children, and the other half look like MILFs. This is the strongest character at the time of release for the game, which probably won't last very long. Usually in a banner or two, characters get power crept to shit. That's just kind of how it is at mobile games. Speaking of mobile games, it's probably better to compare this to Wuthering Waves than it is comparing it to Genshin or HSR. But this seems like baby Wuthering Waves. One thing I always really liked about WuWa, it's like become a meme, is like the combat's fun, it's nice, it's refreshing. It feels like what a open world anime mobile game should be. Now, I have a Galaxy S24 Ultra. I don't really have a problem playing it on my phone. I know a lot of phones run the game like shit. Mine doesn't. I don't have that problem. I'm going to keep playing it on my phone because I don't feel like installing it on my computer. That being said, I prefer HSR because I have to think when I play WuWa. If I have to think, then I have to use some type of brain power to put something into the game to make my characters do something. In HSR, I could click a funny button to auto Memory of Chaos 11. Big difference. Anyway, back to this character. So, you have the basic attack, which is basically just spamming left click over and over and over. That will charge up your special gauge. Once your special gauge is full, you can use a special attack that will just be a unique attack that does extra damage. It's pretty much it. It's literally like Diablo 4 gameplay. You charge up your ability, you use your ability, that's it. There's also dodging and assists. So dodging is if you've played WuWa, you know what that is. It's whatever. You time a perfect dodge, time slows down, and then you're able to hit the target. That's as simple as that. It's honestly one of the better mechanics I've seen out of these games. It's just super fun and intuitive, and I like it a lot. This also has assists. It exists in both of those games, except it works a little bit differently. In WuWa, your characters will glow, and then whenever you click the characters, they'll swap in and like do a extra attack. In this game, there's a whole button for it. You click the assist button, they swap in, they do an attack. Simple as that. It's basically a parry. Alright, you're about to get hit, you fucking whoop, whoop, and then they do the damage. Right? Does that make sense? Probably not. Whatever, moving on. I don't really like WuWa's combat, so for me, this game is already going to be a skip. It is what it is. So, aside from any type of TV jumping, I know everyone hates jumping through the TVs. I know people are complaining about not being able to, like, jump into the game until a couple hours in. That's fine. I don't really care about that. I just don't like the combat, and I feel like it's not going to retain me as a player, so for me, this is just like a total skip. If you like the game, that's fine, but again, I truly do think, like, they just knocked it out of the park with these characters, dude. I mean, this guy is a little annoying in English. I don't know if it's better in other languages, but his name is Billy Kid, and he shoots guns. That's about the most American Japanese thing you can do. She's like a maid that has, like, little puppet things or whatever the fuck. I don't really know. She's level 1, and I've never interacted with her at all, so... but yeah, I mean, the amount of free pulls you get are insane, and like I said, I got it my first try, so it's like kind of unfortunate I'm gonna be dropping this game. But I mean, a lot of these waifus are like super instantly recognizable. I think the #1 recognizable one that I see on Twitter all the time would be Nicole. Like, I knew about Nicole before she even came out, and it's mostly because she has a good character design. There's a giant fucking bear guy. There's a demon girl. There's a furry. There's a cat girl. Yeah, you have to have a cat girl. It's obligatory. A lolly, of course. Of course. a few lollies actually. Oh my god, why do they do this? My point is, it will probably do good. I don't know, maybe if you guys like it, you like it, whatever. But for me, I'm just going to stick to my funny turn-based combat game. And if I ever played Genshin again, my funny swap in and hit the Q button, swap in and hit the E button, swap in and hit the Q button gameplay, and make sure the colors go wee, and then explode, and then bloom, and hyper bloom, and burn, and shit. But for me, the game is kind of relatively a skip. It just seems like kind of a dumbed down version of Wuwa, and for me, I could never really get into that game, so you know how it is. That being said, like, they make cool damage types. I mean, there's like ether damage, like that's cool. It's its own like unique little element that they created for this game. Other than that, you got the fire, you got the shock, you got the ice. It's not really that much different than any other game you'd see. I will say, rolling animation is sick as fuck. But the problem I have with all of these mobile games is they're so unbelievably predatory that unless you really, really like the gameplay, getting into it is just kind of not worth it. I feel like even the gameplay of FGO got stale after a while, as someone who likes turn-based combat. But the story is so compelling, at least to me, that I didn't really mind spending money on it. Here, the story is actually kind of cool. I mean, it feels very cyberpunk-esque. Like, you have a huge-ass, like, computer room. It's you and your brother or your sister, depending on whoever you play. And you're basically this, like, support network for, like, mercenaries that can hire you, and you get paid, and then they send you out, and it's a nice premise. It's a nice concept, but for me, like, you know, I like the world-ending, catastrophic threats, like shit like that. There's always an overlooming threat of, like, Stellarons or, like, Aeons, and in Genshin, it would be, like, everyone is, like, you could play as different gods or, like, lesser gods. Like, you would have Fiorina, you would have Venti. These are two gods, or I guess, like, not really though, like just kind of leaders of wherever their nations are, and they would just be really good, like just good characters that you could just play as. But here I don't really see that. I guess you don't really have that in HSR either, but I mean, you have like a Stellaron inside of you, so you kind of have the potential to become God, I guess, which I think is where the story's going, but who knows. Either way, you know, like if you like this game, like it, go for it. I'm not going to tell you not to play it. Why would I? That's insane. But if you, you know, if you feel a similar way, let me know. Let me know. Are you going to go back to Wuwa? Is this going to take you away from it? Are you even playing Wuwa? Are you even playing shit like this? Like, are you a turn-based boy like me? Or do you play Genshin and hate your life? So, yeah, let me know in the comment section down below. Otherwise, you guys have a great rest of your day.